multiple videos during a day. A large portion of the issue of me actually gaining stability is in the fact that most of the time I am either waiting for something that I hope will actually happen, or I have made arrangements and then those arrangements fall through because other things change. The the greatest constant in life is actually change. Not expecting people to stay the same, because we all grow and we all evolve and we all hopefully get better, and not worse, which has been what it's been feeling like for me. At any rate, the stability that I desire will be felt when I actually have a house. But I can't actually get a house or declare an interest in trying to get a house unless I actually have the funds for being able to do that. I don't have the funds because I have to wait for them to be dispersed to my account. Once they get there, they're going to get divvied into a few different places, and housing would be one of them. Now, I have a variety of different issues that would be taken care of by me having money or a regular source of income, and I don't have those. So once again, getting back into the issue of one thing not coming before the other. As far as getting a full-time job, I can't really work full-time right now, and I haven't been able to work full-time for a while, and more than likely I should be on disability, but I also am having a lot of issue with, I suppose, the dignity of being on disability. Not to mention the fact that right now the benefits for people with disability, or Medicaid benefits, are being stripped away and taken away by our government. So there doesn't feel to be any stability in that anyway. If I were to be able to get myself efficiently through all of the paperwork and all of the deadlines and checking in and making sure that are required with receiving those types of benefits. Now, this has already basically happened to me before, because when I had my Medicaid and my SNAP benefits last year during the when I had those benefits, they want to come up with a recertification period, and basically I didn't end up getting recertified because I was waiting for information from my then employer to actually go to the offices about the status of my employment there. And that's one of the reasons why it has been very emotionally charged for me to talk about my previous employer. Not to mention the fact that the environment that I was working in was not very healthy for me because of my mental health, and the fact that my emotional regulation system is basically not like other people's. Other people are like, small inconvenience, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play a little video game, or I'm gonna take a little walk, do a little breathing exercise, and then move on from it. And that's after, like, it might just come and then go. Me, you can wreck my entire day. Because the emotional depth with which I experience the world is, like, not to mention the fact that I am constantly seeing the patterns and noting the fact that people are either not following the patterns or they are following the patterns with a sort of adherence that seems not sensical to me. And that is the other part of my mental health issues, which is that, I've had one therapist tell me that I have ADHD. I think multiple have told me that. But there's the combination of that with autism, which is possibly more accurate. It's just like a conglomerate. I'm like, pick one. Do you have anxiety? Post-traumatic stress disorder? Borderline personality disorder? ADHD? AUDHD is the combination in autism. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. How about a little bit of all of the above, which makes it very difficult to streamline efforts at actually tackling the issues, not to mention the fact that a large portion of the issues are emotionally based. So it's not like I can just quick solve a problem that not only is external to me, but that I'm internally being affected by all of these different stimulus throughout my existence. And this is every single day. And when I'm real bad, it's every single hour. It's every single second, minute of time. I waste a lot of time sitting trying to regulate my system, but then also to prioritize, because my priorities are all over the place. I'm like, well, I need a house. I need a house really badly. I just want to sit here and look at houses on Craigslist and Facebook and reach out to these people. I'm like, then the other part of my mind's like, wait a second, you can't do that right now. You don't have any money. I mean, these people aren't going to be like, yes, I would love for you to be the person who stays here. I don't have a good rental history right now because I haven't been living successfully at a place where I've been paying rent, let alone the fact that I'm sitting over here like I'm not a good renter right now because I don't have any financial stability. So do I lie? Do I lie to people? I'm like, yeah, I've got a really nice job and I make like this much money every single month. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And therein lies, a lot of my issue, because when I get myself to a spot where I'm like, I really need companionship. I'm very lonely. Like, I haven't had intercourse with another person in so long that I don't even know if I'm any good at it. I'm like, I might have forgotten how to do it, like riding a bicycle, right? And to have that in my mind, getting myself to the spot where I make a dating app profile and then I'm in the bio writing a small essay, because I can't finish essays for school, but I can finish a little essay for me to potentially get the reward of companionship and partnership with people. even though I'm like, my friends are great and it'd be cool if I could just, I don't know, either get back together with somebody who was very compatible with me, at least in certain areas, but completely overwhelmed by, oh, all of this other stuff that I've been discussing, and or some of these friends that I have, we could maybe figure out what the boundaries of that friendship actually look like, because I mean, I don't mind the idea of sleeping with my friends. And that doesn't even I'm like, literally, I'm at the point where I'm like, just sleeping with my friends, like next to you on the couch, maybe actually would help me, because at least when I wake up, I'm not alone. Which, try a full year of that with little bits of small times when I'm around other people, around enough energy and sources of just care and love of people being around, like a family. I don't even know what to do with it. It kind of overwhelms me sometimes. So I do still need some privacy. I can't just hang out inside of the, like middle room of someone's house and just kind of pretend to live there, because yeah, I'd like to have my own space that I can maintain. But does anyone want to hire me to run a queer hostel type space? Anyone interested in building that, or have the capacity to pay like $150,000 in one fell swoop to purchase a property for us to do that? But then comes the other fun part, because it's not even like the properties that are out there, because I have been looking, by the way, are actually options where we're not gonna have to do things like get upgrades, get someone in there to fix certain things. And while I do have some bases in electrician knowledge, I can't remember all of that stuff. And I'm way too stressed out, way too disconnected from the practice of those things that I learned how to do, that I can't do them by myself. I still need guidance. And that is the spot where I was in the apprenticeship program that I was a part of when I got fired and let go from the program, was getting myself into that independent level where then I become a journeyed person who then gets to train other people. Now, there's still a lot of random training that I have and things that I can explain to other people, or if we sit down and we actually start to review all of that information, I'm like, yes, I already kind of know that. I know that. I remember that. Yep. All of this other stuff. But it's not enough that I can be the person in charge right now. And it wouldn't take that much to get me there, but where I don't even know where to start to be like, okay, yes, I'm gonna try and do that. Besides the fact that in this conversation, I have gotten off topic. Should I be taking meds for my ADHD? Well, yeah, maybe, but you know what? If they're stimulants, then I scare people, because I can become manic very easily. Because I can become manic very easily no matter what. So, finding ways to self-regulate that have included things like substances oh my goodness, I've actually just been doing the experimental method on myself. Human testing myself, me, and I have actually come up with some things that I know for sure will be helpful and or like that I can't go without. Hence, we're getting back to, and I'm gonna stop this video because it's very long. I need to be in a place where I have running water, and I cannot continue to live in a housing establishment by myself. I don't really want to. I'm a really great household caretaker when I have that household, but I come from stock of people pleaser, and I also come from stock of having to go without. I also come from stock of, oh my goodness, I have bipolar and borderline personality disorder, both as diagnoses that I have received at various times recently in my life. And that sometimes means like, hey, I don't want to get out of bed. Actually, I don't want to exist. If I could find a way to very easily stop existing right this moment, I kind of would. That's suicide ideation. But it's also disassociating, which a lot of people do. They don't necessarily think of it in terms of that being the same thing, but it kind of is. Because I think about that a lot. And some of it is also escapism, wanting to escape the struggles of your life. But what do you do when your life is just struggle? Because you've been seeing it. And also, and this gets into some fun stuff here, what happens when you're living your life constantly struggling and you've actually lived life and it was a lot more stable and better and healthy and felt good? Like, and you remember that. So you have these sort of placeholders in your mind of, oh, this is what it felt like to have these needs being taken care of. Or this is what it felt like to not be wanting these sorts of connections. Because that gives me a basis of comparison that I can look at and go, yeah, things are very, very not good. I don't really know how to get them back to a spot where they feel anything like what would feel safe and comfortable. And on top of that, I'm terrified of getting back to that spot too, because the moment I do, I feel like my body will just fall apart and I will cease to exist. That last part has a lot to do with some of the education and consumption of media that I've been doing, wherein once a body actually starts to feel safe and comfortable, it's like fall apart. When I say fall apart, I mean, hey, this is wrong. Hey, this is wrong. Hey, this is wrong. Every single thing starts to basically go awry. That kind of already happened to me before. And I think I'm actually, we're dealing with, hey, actually all of these other things are really messed up now. So, it's not news. But I've been talking about these issues for years now. So, I'm not a told you so person because I care too much.